I get asked this question so many times, and just recently in my FrenchArena Telegram community group, someone sent me a message asking me, "Hi Sumo, what exactly does the Y stand for and how do you use it?" And somebody else sent a follow-up message just basically saying, not familiar with the usage of Y. Those questions inspired today's video because if you've ever been confused about and yi, you're not alone. In this lesson, I'll break everything down step by step so you'll finally know what kind of pronouns they are, when to use them, the key differences between them, and how to avoid the 5 most common mistakes learners make. There will also be a quiz to test yourself, so make sure you stay till the end of the video. Oh, and always, I've prepared a completely free PDF guide just for you with examples and an additional short quiz to help you practice. You can download it right away. All you need to do is input your name and email address in the link in the description box below, and it sends directly to your email. Just put in your name, email address, and it's all yours. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti! If you're new here, bonjour, je m'appelle Sumo, votre professeur de français. I help you speak French with confidence for travel, work, or even relocation. If you're a return subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I genuinely appreciate you. Let's get started with one of the most important parts. What type of pronouns are and yi? Both and yi are called adverbial pronouns, or in French you can say les pronoms adverbiaux. They don't replace people like le, la, lui, or leur. Instead, they replace phrases, ideas, places, or quantities. So please note, they are not subject pronouns like je, tu, il, elle. They are not direct or indirect object pronouns like le, la, lui, leur. They are adverbial pronouns because they replace a phrase and often carry an adverbial meaning like there or some. So please just think of them as shortcuts to avoid repeating long phrases. So what exactly does Y replace? Y replaces, or yi, I'm saying Y because that's how it's spelled, but it's pronounced yi. Yi replaces a place introduced by a, en, chez, dans, sur, etc. Or a thing introduced by a, but not a person. If you see a plus something, you can often replace it with yi. So think of Y as meaning there or about it. It helps us avoid repeating the same word or phrase. Let me break it down further for you. What exactly does Y replace? Let's take a look at this sentence. Je vais à la bibliothèque. You see, I am going to the library. Here, the phrase à la bibliothèque tells us where the person is going. Now, if you do not want to repeat à la bibliothèque, what do? You replace it with Y. And so, à la bibliothèque becomes Y. Now, our sentence becomes j'y vais. That's it, I am going there. So let me explain to you further. If someone were to ask you, Sumo, are you going to the library? I don't say, yes, I'm going to the library. I can just say, yes, I am going there. Do you understand? Now, step 2, why do we use Y? And I know this is tricky, but why do we use yi? Let's use yi in this sentence. We use yi to replace a place or a thing that starts with a. Remember I said that earlier? And a could be to, at, in, on. It avoids repetition and keeps your sentences short and natural. Step 3, where is Y placed in the sentence? Because even if you know it, like, okay, Sumo, where do I put Y? At the beginning, the middle, at the end? Where exactly does it come? In a simple sentence, Y is placed before the verb. So example, je vais à Paris. It becomes j'y vais. Okay? Do you see that? It's placed before the verb. The verb is what? I am going. Je vais. Je vais à Paris. So what did I do? I put the Y before the verb. In a compound tense like le passé composé, y comes before the auxiliary verb, which are avoir or être. Par exemple, je suis allé au supermarché, which then becomes j'y suis allé. So do you see? I put it before the suis. I didn't say je suis y allé. I said j'y suis allé. All right? In a negative sentence, y still stays before the verb, but the ne pas goes around it. So par exemple, je ne vais pas à l'école. Je n'y vais pas. Do you see? It's N, then the Y, and then the verb. So do you understand clearly? All right. And then the final step, step 4, let me give you some more sample sentences with explanation so that I'm sure you never make a mistake with these pronouns. Number 1, je vais à la bibliothèque. This becomes j'y vais. J'y vais. So you see, y replaces à la bibliothèque, which is what? A place. And it means there. Okay, you also notice that it's placed before the verb vais. Okay, so j'y vais. Number 2, il habite à Paris. Il y habite. Okay, did you see that? Y replaces what? Good. À Paris. And this just means there. Number 3, nous pensons à notre avenir. Nous y pensons. Y replaces what? À notre avenir, which is like an idea or a topic. And this just means about it. Number 4, tu es allé chez le médecin? Oui, j'y suis allé. So you see once again, y replaces chez le médecin, and this just means there. The next one, les enfants jouent dans le jardin, and it becomes ils y jouent. So y replaces what? Good. Dans le jardin. It means there. Some things to note, please. You cannot use y for people. So if you're talking about a person, you have to use lui or leur. So for example, je parle à ce mot. It becomes je lui parle and not j'y parle. Do you get it? So you can use y with aller, être, venir, retourner, penser à, etc. And so in summary for the adverbial pronoun y or y, please look at this table. What does it replace? It replaces a plus a place, which means there. And where does it go? Before the verb. Example, je vais à Paris, j'y vais. It also replaces a plus an idea or a thing. Okay, and this just means about it. And where does it go? It goes before the verb. So for example, je pense à mon avenir, which is j'y pense. All right? And lastly, what does it replace? It replaces chez, dans, sur, en plus place. And it means there once again. It always goes before the verb. Par exemple, je suis allé chez le médecin. It becomes j'y suis allé. Now, let's talk about un. This little word, like I said, is also an adverbial pronoun. And just like y, it's another one that confuses a lot of French learners. So let's make it super simple today. It replaces a noun that is introduced by de. That is de, du, de la, de l'apostrophe ou des. It can also replace quantities like, for example, un, une, des, beaucoup de, trois, etc. So what does un replace? You use un to replace de plus a thing, that's not a person, de plus a place, which is sometimes, or a noun with a quantity. It helps you avoid repetition. So instead of repeating the whole phrase, you just use un. Let's look at some examples. For example, I can say, je veux du pain. Je veux du pain. And this becomes j'en veux. That easy. J'en veux. Did you see what happens? Un replaces du pain. Do you see that's from de plus le pain. And it just means some or of it. And so j'en veux is equals to I want some. That's simple. Do you see? So like somebody asked me, hi Sumo, would you like some bread? Yes, I want some. I don't say yes, I want some bread. The person only asked me for bread. So I'm not going to say yes, I want apples. So yes, I want some. That's it. Now for the placement rule, just like y, un goes before the conjugated verb. So we don't say je veux un, we say j'en veux. Let's look at another example. Tu as des amis en France? It becomes oui, j'en ai. So did you see un replaces des amis? So j'en ai means I have some. Once again, imagine someone asks me, do you have friends in France? I don't need to say, yes, I have friends in France. Yes, I have some. It's that simple. Another example, il boit du café tous les matins. And this becomes il en boit tous les matins. So the en replaces what? Du café. And this just means he drinks some every morning. Nous avons besoin de vacances. And this becomes nous en avons besoin. The en replaces de vacances. And so it means we need some or we need it. Please notice that un replaces de plus noun, even if de comes from a structure like avoir besoin de. Vous avez combien de frais? I would say j'en ai deux, because un replaces de frais, and so j'en ai deux means what? I have two, like I have two of them. Even though the de disappears in English, it's still there in French grammar. That's why un is used. Now, in summary, let's take a look at this table together because I want to make sure you really understand how and when to use un. The table might look a bit technical, but don't worry, I'm going to explain it line by line in a simple way so it makes perfect sense. D'accord? Now, the first line says de plus thing. This just means when you have de, du, de la, de l'apostrophe or des before a thing, like du pain or de l'eau. All right? So instead, for example, if we have je veux du pain, it becomes j'en veux. So un replaces du pain, and it just means some or of it. All right? Now the second line, I said de plus noun, that's a quantity. This means when you're talking about something countable, like friends, apples, students, etc. So par exemple, tu as des amis, you would say oui, j'en ai. So un replaces des amis. You don't need to repeat it. Now the third line, de plus expression. This happens with verbs that always use de, like avoir besoin de, parler de, rêver de, and so on. Okay? So par exemple, nous avons besoin de vacances, nous en avons besoin. So en did what? It replaces de vacances. And now the fourth line, we have quantity. You use en when there's a number or an amount. Tu as combien de frais? You would say j'en ai deux. So even though we don't say de in English, in French it's still there. So like dash de frais, that's why we use en. All right. So like I said, the answer when I said the question, tu as combien de frais? In English, we'll say I have two. But in French, it's literally saying I have two of them. Okay. So you still have to add the en. And finally, the last line, de plus location, which is quite rare. You can also use en when talking about coming from a place. Donc, par exemple, je viens de là-bas, j'en viens. I come from there. This use is not very common, but it's good to know because you might hear French people say it. And so that's it. Whenever you see de, du, de la, de l'apostrophe des, or a quantity, think of un. It saves you from repeating words and makes your French sound more natural. And just an extra tip before we continue, just like yi, un goes before the verb except in affirmative commands. For example, mange du chocolat becomes mangeons. Do you see how un moves after the verb and connects with a hyphen in commands? Okay, if you've gotten this far, just pat yourself on the back. I know that this lesson can be a bit technical, but with practice, I promise it gets easier. And don't forget what I told you, there is a free PDF in the link in the description box below so that you can review everything you've learned. Don't wait till I'm like, okay, I'll come back and watch this video later. Just download it right now. Practice with the quiz I gave you there and just use it in your everyday speech. Now, let's quickly compare un and yi so you never mix them up. Now, you can see here, it refers to a place. The preposition is à, en, chez, sur, dans. What do? You use the pronoun yi. So, je vais à Paris, j'y vais. You can't say j'en vais, all right? If it refers to things or ideas with de, so for example, maybe the prepositions are de, du, de la, des, please use the pronoun en. Par exemple, je parle de mon projet. J'en parle. And lastly, if it refers to quantities, that's de plus number or expression. What do we use? The pronoun we use is un. For example, j'ai 3 enfants, j'en ai 3. So please remember, à is equals to yi and de is equals to en. All right, let's practice together. I'm going to read a sentence to you and I want you to quickly say your answers out loud before I show you the answer. Can you do that? I'm just going to give you 3 seconds, okay? Number 1, je vais à la bibliothèque. 1, 2, 3. J'y vais. Number 2, je parle de mon frère. J'en parle. Number 3, tu veux du chocolat? Oui, j'en veux. Number 4, nous pensons à nos vacances. 1, 2, 3. Nous y pensons. And number 5, ils ont besoin de temps. Ils en ont besoin. All right, before we wrap up and go into the quiz, let's take a look at some of the most common mistakes French learners make with un and yi. If you can avoid these 5, your French will immediately sound more natural. Mistake 1, putting un or yi in the wrong place. A lot of learners put un and yi after the verb, but that's wrong in most cases. Remember, please, most go before the conjugated verb. Example, you would say je vais y. You're supposed to say j'y vais. okay? Or je veux en. Wrong, it's j'en veux. Please remember the only time en and ye go after the verb is in affirmative commands. So for example, vas-y, mangeons, okay? Mistake 2, using ye for people. This is super common. Many students say j'y parle when they mean I'm talking to him or her. But remember, like I taught you, why cannot replace people. For example, je parle à Sumo. You would say je lui parle. You can never say j'y parle, okay? So please use lui or leur for people. Y is for, or ye is for places or things only. Mistake 3, forgetting to use un for quantities. Whenever there's a number or an amount, you need un. Example, est-ce que tu as 2 chiens? Oui, j'en ai 2. If you just say oui, j'ai 2, it sounds incomplete, like I have 2. 2 of what? Okay? So please remember, always pair quantities with un. Mistake 4, using ye instead of un after verbs with de. Some verbs naturally use de. Par exemple, parler de, avoir besoin de, rêver de. And what I realize is learners often mix them up. I know I did. So for example, je parle de mon travail. You would instead say j'en parle, not j'y parle. Okay? Please note, if the verb has de, what do we use? We use un. If it has a, what do we use? Use ye. And mistake number 5, forgetting un or ye completely. Sometimes learners just skip them and repeat the noun or remove it entirely. Please note that French sounds smoother when you use its pronouns correctly. Par exemple, tu vas à l'école? You can just say oui, j'y vais. Not oui, je vais à l'école every single time. You can just shorten it naturally. I mean, if you're a beginner and you're just learning, it's okay. But after a while, just spice it up. Another example, tu veux du chocolat? Oui, j'en veux. Not oui, je veux du chocolat again and again. And so these are 5 common mistakes to please watch out for. Trust me, once you master the placement and the difference between un and ye, your French will sound 10 times smoother. Now that you've done the practice, we've gone through the common mistakes, let's do a quick quiz. I'm going to read out 5 questions to you and then I'll show you the answers. But before you look at the answers, please just actually take out time to try practicing them and let me know in the comment section, how many did you get? Number 1, je vais à l'école tous les jours. What does this sentence become? Number 2, tu veux du café. What does this sentence become? Number 3, il pense à son avenir. What does this sentence become? Number 4, nous avons des amis en France. I think this is a bonus one for you. And number 5, tu parles de ton travail. So like I said, you can pause right now. Just actually take your time to practice. Don't just wait for me to show the answers. So you can also test yourself to be sure you truly understand today's lesson. Please also don't forget to let me know in the comment section, how many did you get? Let's take a look at the answers now. Number 1, j'y vais. Number 2, oui, j'en veux. Number 3, il y pense. Number 4, nous en avons. And number 5, oui, j'en parle. Did you get everything correct? We've come to the end of today's wonderful lesson. If this video finally helped you understand un and ye, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. Share it with a friend who is learning French. And don't forget to subscribe for more weekly French lessons. Also, don't leave without grabbing your free PDF guide. It includes a recap of this lesson, extra examples, and a mini quiz to test yourself. You find it in the link in the description box below. All you need to do is input your name and email address and it's sent directly to your inbox. Merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé de cette vidéo et à très bientôt. Bonne journée!